welcome back. So we are getting ready for Easter. I know all the kiddies love Easter hunts. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be, I don't know if upcycling is the word, because I mean the drawstring bag is not an old item. So I bought this drawstring bag from Craft Buddies. I love these bags. They're such good quality. They're canvas bags. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be upcycling this into an Easter bag. So to do that, I'm going to be using some of the Cricut Designer Fabric. This is from the Garden Girl sampler. So I'm going to be using a pretty dotted one. That's the one we're going to be using. And I'm going to need some craft board, some HTV, and then I'm going to be using my Cricut sewing kit. So you get your fabric scissors. You get, I love this. I absolutely love this. This is a little Cricut pin cushion. It's a little Cricut machine. It's so cool. You get your, this is your thread cutter. You get your pins, and you get your seam picker. You also get this little finger saver. So that is what comes in the fabric kit, and I absolutely love it. Oopsie, I'm also going to be using our fabric pen for our Cricut. So if you don't have a Cricut machine, you can still invest in this sewing kit. You don't have to have a machine to use it. The fabric pen came as a separate item. It is a washable pen, so you can wash it afterwards and it will come out of the material. So if you don't have a Cricut, you can invest in this cute little kit and you can do this by hand. This is such a super simple project. Yeah, you don't actually need a Cricut machine for this, but I'm going to use my Cricut just to make it a bit easier. So let's jump into the design very quickly and then we will get to making it. I have already set up my design. It did take me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, so I thought it would be easier for me to design it and then run you through how I actually did the design. So it's quite a simple design, but I think it's super effective. The first thing you're going to want to do is insert your shape, which is basically your guide. And for this, you're going to resize it to the size of your bag. My bag is 25 by 30. We're going to change it to that. For the design portion, I actually changed it to white just so that it was there and I could see it. And I didn't actually have the ears sticking out. So remember, you're going to have to sew your ears into the bag or glue them. I'm not sure how you would want to do them, but you're going to have to do that. So what we're going to do, I just want to show you something. So if you right click and you go all the way to the bottom, so because I have, did I flatten that? No, I didn't. So there should be a way to see, there we are, image info. So if I click on it, it's actually going to take me to the image. So what I searched for was bunny face, and this is one of the images that I found. So if you want to know what you have previously used on a project, you can't find it again, you can just right click, go all the way down to image info, and it will help you find it. So we're going to add that to our canvas. Okay, and what I did is I duplicated this, and in one of them I deleted the bunny ears and I just kept the face. So we're going to resize our face. So of course I wanted to kind of match what I've already designed because I have gone through the whole process. So there's our face. And then for this one, we're going to get rid of the eyes and the nose. So we're just left with the ears. We're going to duplicate this again. Okay, and we're going to get rid of our bow here. And then we're going to contour this broken ear out of it so that we're only going to be left with one ear. So we're going to contour this one as well. Okay, and then with this one, we're going to get rid of our ears and we're only going to leave our bow behind. So with this one, what we can do now, okay, we're going to change the color just to make it easier for ourselves so we know what we're doing. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a fabric, oopsie, let's undo that. What I'm doing is a fabric outside with a craft board inner just to keep it upright. Okay, so as you can see on the side panel, my bunny ear still has a hole, so we're going to contour that and we're going to fill it in because we don't want it to have a hole. So that is the section that we're going to change to brown, and that is going to be our craft board. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add an offset of 0.5, and this is for our fabric, so we're giving it space to actually be able to be sewed, and obviously we're going to turn it inside out when we're done. So we're going to apply that, and that I changed to white just to make it easier for me to see. We're then going to add another offset of 0.1. We're going to apply that, and we're going to change this to pen. We're then going to, where's my offset? Okay, so we're going to contour that so it's flat. So we've got one draw offset and one basic cut, and we're going to attach that. We can then send that to the back, and we can duplicate this. And what we're then going to do is we're going to flip it horizontal so that we have our two ears. So what we should have actually done was resize them first. So I'm just going to take them over here, and then I'm going to resize it just so that it matches what we've already made. You can obviously do them as big or small as you want to. Yeah, that's completely up to you. Let's say bring to front the face, and then let's say bring to front this, and then we're going to say send backward there. So that's right. Okay, so you can obviously decide how big or small you want them to be. You'll see as well I made them independent so that I can play with my spacing in between them so they're not reliant on each other while visualizing my design. So obviously once it's cut, it is going to be separate pieces, but this is just to help me visualize my design basically. We're not done yet though, so what we now need to do is we now need to create the backing for our ears. So remember, when we're doing fabric, we have to have 2 layers so that we can slide the craft board into it. So what you could do, I guess, is stick it onto the craft board, but I don't think that it's going to look as neat. So we're going to do it this way. So what we now need to do is we need to take the pieces that are attached. So let's select the whole one and this whole one. Oopsie, wrong one. So we want that one, and where's our second one? I think it might be this. Nope, not that one. Okay, so let's do it this way. We'll do that, and then we'll deselect the ones that we don't want. Okay, so now we're going to say duplicate. Now you need to think about how you're going to attach them together. So what we need to do is we actually need to flip this. So because we are using the same design on either side, we could actually just use the left side for the right and the right side for the left. But just for the sake of being visually correct, let's do it this way. So now we're going to be able to flip. So if we look at this one, we should be able to flip it so that both sides of the writing are facing outwards. We can then sew it, turn it inside out, and put our piece of craft board into it. So we'll move those to the side. Okay. And then we're going to add in our name. So we're going to add in our text. I have used BFC LEB connected. Okay, let's make that a bit bigger. You can write whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a person's name. It can be Happy Easter or Happy Hunting or whatever it is that you want to write. So let's just, there, we've got our sizing correct. So we're going to change this to pink. And we're going to match that basically to our ears and our nose. So everything is pretty in pink. So I just want to zoom in so I can show you. If you have a look, these letters overlap. So what's going to happen is your machine's going to cut around it, and it's going to cut into your Y, and it's going to cut into your R from the Y there. So everywhere that it's overlapping, your machine's actually going to cut that, and you're going to not have that nice smooth cursive look. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine this and we're going to weld it. That then shows you that it's going to cut continuously without cutting into each other. So there we have it. That's super simple. Okay, so I'm sure you've noticed the bow. Now my thoughts on the bow, this is just for me visually. Let's bring this to the front. This is just for me to visually look at. I actually want to put a little faux leather bow on the ear that can be taken off and used. And I think that would be a super, super cute idea. So the last thing you would do before you actually make your design is you would change this to a guard so that it doesn't actually cut. Now, I don't need two of the same design. So what I can do here is I can go and I can actually hide these. And I don't have to have them actually cutting, if that makes sense. So we can just go and select all of them and hide. That's just helping me find it on the side panel. And this is a nice way of doing it that you actually don't have to delete your cuts, basically. So let's say you had set up something with multiple images. If you didn't want to delete all of them, you could literally just hide them away and you wouldn't have to make them. So the next thing we're going to do is say make it for any material. And we've got it set up. So we are not going to be making the bow. We're going to hide that. And there's a second part to it. We're going to hide that as well. Okay, so we have our bunny ears for our fabric. I want to see if I can get them all in. I doubt I'm going to be able to. Yeah, that's not going to work. Okay, let's move that there. Yeah, not going to work. Okay, that's fine. So we'll turn this one sideways again, put it back there, put that one there. Okay, we are ready to cut. So remember, we're doing HTV for our R's. We're doing HTV for our cute little ears here, the inside of the ears. And we're doing HTV for our nose and our name. So there it is. We're ready to go. Let's get to making this. So we've been through our design portion, super, super simple. So we're just going to put our machine on over here. So I'm using the Maker 3 for this. If you're going to be using a machine, you do have to use a Maker or a Maker 3 because we're going to be using our rotary blade. This is fast becoming one of my favorite blades. I use it for felt and I use it for fabric and I absolutely love it. So we're going to stick our rotary blade in there. Okay, and then we're going to get our washable fabric pen, and that is going to go into our clamp A. So I'm not going to run through all of the cut settings with you. I think you know most of them. So for our fabric, we're going to use light cotton on more pressure like we did last week. For our HTV, we're going to use obviously whatever is recommended for our HTV. So I think it's going to be smart iron-on, and yeah, that is all we need. So I'm just going to cut my fabric straight because I have actually used this one. It's just to neaten it up, obviously. So the nice thing about the dots is that it doesn't matter which way I actually put this, it'll still look good. So remember, if you're using a pattern, you're going to have to make your ears all sort of the same way so that it makes sense, if that makes sense. So you don't have one ear with a pattern going the opposite way kind of thing. Okay, so we want to straighten this out nicely. We don't want lumps and bumps in it. Okay, we're going to, oopsie. There's my brayer. So out of this piece, I've already made 4 covers for little sweetie jars, and I'm now going to be doing the ears. So you get a lot of value out of this fabric. I think I did mention that last week. Oh gosh, we've got to choose our fabric. We're going to test it. Ah, perfect. Okay, so we can take that out now. Okay, anywhere that it hasn't completely cut through, it's fine. What I'll do is I will just snip it with our scissors. Remember, that's going to be on the inside anyway, or is it? I made a boo-boo. I should have actually placed it face down instead of face up. So that was a boo-boo on my part. Really should have done it the opposite way. So when you're applying your material, you want to think about how am I going to sew it. So you're going to sew it that way. So you would put your material pretty side down, and then you would sew it basically. So we're going to use the back side with our little lines just to make sure that we are in the correct place, because we can obviously see it through, and that's how we're going to do it. So when you do it, you're going to want to put it dull side up. That's how you're going to want to do it. So I'm going to get to cutting the rest of this, and then we will get to assembling. So we have cut all of our pieces. That's everything we need for now. So I have my little eyes, I have my ears, and the little elements that we're putting onto it. So remember, I have cut mine the wrong way, or I've drawn on it the wrong way, but it's completely fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to match these up, and we're going to pin them along the side. So basically along the draw marks, or yeah, the pen marks. That's where we're going to do it. This is our insert that's going to help it stand up once we're done. So you could fill this with anything you wanted, really. You don't have to use craft board. It's just what I chose to go with. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to match these up. So there's our other one there. Just make sure that we're all good on sizing. Okay. And this I'm going to sew by hand. I think I'm a lot more precise with sewing by hand. And the nice thing about sewing inside out like this is you don't really have to worry too much about how neat the sew looks, basically, because it's going to be hidden on the inside. So obviously you just want to try and keep it as straight as possible. But other than that, it is a lot easier. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, and then we will be back now. So I have it all pinned. Now we're just going to do some good old-fashioned hand sewing, and then we will be back. And there we have our cutest little ears. So I already have my mini press set up. We're going to put our little our little thingies on it. So I should have my heat mat. Safety first. And I've already got my little cardboard pieces in it. Let's move this aside. Look how cute these are. So these are just going to get sewn in here. Do I have it the right way? I don't know if I do. Like so. How freaking cute. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. Oopsie. I can't decide if I want to put this name sort of tilted. I kind of like tilted. I'm going tilted because that's what I like. Okay. Oh, I love it. It's so cute. Okay, so now I need to sew my ears in. Oh, why is it so cute though? Come on, guys. And this didn't take long at all. It's taken me about half an hour to hand sew these. If you do it with a machine, it's going to take you 2 minutes. It's so freaking quick. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, so I'm going to obviously sew these in. Now, you're going to want to watch out for your drawstrings. So what you can do, so there's our drawstrings. So what you can do is you can actually, oh, we got to do this from the back. You can actually replace the drawstrings with, what do you call these things? Ribbon. So you can sew some ribbon in instead. So just to show you a hidden stitch, you do it very, very close next to it. And, oopsie, why do we have knots? We shouldn't have knots. And that becomes a hidden stitch. So you're going to just have a very tiny dot there. This side you can do bigger sections. Why am I knotting though? Oh no. So we've knotted there. I don't know what I did, but anyway. So you're just going to do it very close next to it. It's called a hidden stitch. Or is it? I don't know. I call it a hidden stitch. So as you can see, you can hardly see anything on the front, but there is going to be that hold. And then it doesn't matter if you're going very straight or not either. So I'm just going to finish sewing these in, and then we'll be back to see the end result. You know what? Shut the front door. How cute is this? I love it. Like, I love it. And I think this is super, super cute. So what you can do again is you can cut the string out and you can attach ribbon if you want to.
It's so easy to do this however you want to. If it was a boy, you know, make it boy style. I don't know how you would do that. Change the colors, I guess. So I do want to go ahead and make matching bows. I just haven't done it yet. So just to match our theme. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so cute. Come on, that is cute. I love it. I love, love, love it. Yay! So, I hope that you have learned something today, and I hope that you're all going to be making gorgeous bunny bags. A canvas bag is not just a canvas bag, it's whatever you want it to be. You've just got to use your imagination. I can't wait to see you again soon.